Oh, so Cardi B really lost it on a reporter, and this time she's explaining exactly why. And let's just say, this exclusive interview meltdown makes the Love and Hip Hop reunion look like a Sunday brunch prayer circle. The clip is already being called the most Cardi moment ever, complete with eye rolls, flying hands, and a verbal smackdown so sharp it could cut WI-fee. It all started when a nosy reporter crossed the line with one question too many, and Cardi snapped faster than you can say. Occur. Cameras caught every second, and within minutes, social media turned into a courtroom. Half of the internet was screaming she's right, while the other half was clutching pearls like, not again, Cardi. But here's where it gets crazy, because Cardi isn't hiding this time. She's talking. She's spilling why she went off, who crossed her, and what that reporter really said that turned an interview into an explosion. And trust me, once you hear her side, you'll understand why this story has the whole industry holding its breath. Grab your popcorn, because when Cardi talks, headlines tremble, and this time she's naming names. It was supposed to be a normal press day. Cameras flashing, microphones out, Cardi B's serving attitude, fashion, and maybe a few quotable sound bites for Twitter. But no one, and I mean no one, expected what happened next. Because somewhere between smile for the camera and so, tell us about Offset, things took a sharp left into pure, unfiltered Cardi chaos. Now, if you've been on the internet for more than 30 seconds, you already know Cardi doesn't play when it comes to her privacy, her family, or her patience. But this reporter, they decided to test all three in one interview. A brave mistake. The event was a red carpet appearance in New York, a fashion event turned media circus. Cardi showed up late, as she always does, dripping in diamonds, hair laid, and nails sharp enough to open Amazon boxes from across the room. The paparazzi were loving it. Flashes everywhere. Shouts of Cardi over here, echoing like gunfire. And then, the fateful moment. One reporter, a bold soul with a mic and zero sense of self-preservation, decided to go where no journalist should ever go. They asked Cardi a question about her marriage, one so invasive it made the other reporters freeze mid-sentence. It was something along the lines of, "So how do you feel about Offset's rumored new collab with that mystery woman?" The look on Cardi's face said it all. You could see the switch flip. That mix of disbelief and fury, like she couldn't tell if it was a joke or a setup. She leaned in, eyes locked on the reporter like a laser. And then came that iconic line, the one already living rent-free on every social feed, "Don't play with me right now. I came here to talk about my work, not your lil messy headlines." The reporter tried to laugh it off. Wrong move. Because when Cardi B feels disrespected, laughter isn't medicine. It's fuel. She fired back with her signature Bronx rhythm, quick, sharp, emotional, and loud. "Y'all always trying to make me the story when I am the story. Talk about my music, my performance, not my man. Y'all reporters don't report, y'all instigate." The crowd gasped. Cameras zoomed in. You could practically hear the producers at TMZ popping champagne in the background. This was content gold. The clip hit Twitter within minutes. Someone posted it with the caption, "Cardi B just ended journalism." Within an hour, it had 10 million views. The quote tweets were legendary. That reporter about to file for witness protection. She told them off like she was fighting for her life in a reunion episode. Meanwhile, other celebs at the event were visibly trying to stay neutral. Lizzo reportedly whispered to her PR rep, "Girl, start the car." Megan Thee Stallion was seen pretending to check her phone like she didn't just witness a public execution, but the real chaos came when the full clip surfaced. Because what fans initially thought was just a single confrontation turned out to be a full-blown back and forth that lasted nearly 3 minutes. In that time, Cardi roasted the reporter, exposed their publication for spreading false stories, and even accused them of editing interviews to make her look bad. And when the reporter tried to defend themselves, Cardi didn't miss a beat. She leaned forward, pointed at the camera, and said, "Nah, don't clean it up now. Say it with the same energy you wrote that article. You bold when I ain't around. Now I'm here. What's up? That line alone became meme history. Fans turned it into TikTok audio. Edits flooded in. One clip had her saying it over WWE entrance music. Another had her face superimposed on Thanos, snapping half the reporters out of existence. But beneath the humor, people noticed something deeper. Cardi wasn't just angry. She was fed up. Years of being dissected, misquoted, and dragged by gossip blogs had finally boiled over. And that night, one unlucky reporter caught the full storm. The internet instantly split into camps. Team Cardi said she had every right to check someone who tried to stir the pot in public. Team reporter claimed she overreacted and embarrassed herself. But that debate only made the moment grow. Because when Cardi B gets involved in controversy, it's never small. Even mainstream media couldn't resist. Within hours, every outlet from the Shade Room to E! News had a headline: Cardi B explodes on reporter during red carpet showdown. Some called it unprofessional. Others called it authentic. And if you know Cardi, authenticity is her middle name, right after drama. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, PR teams were panicking. Cardi's camp reportedly tried to de-escalate by releasing a short statement, saying she was caught off guard by a disrespectful question. But by then, the internet didn't want peace. It wanted popcorn. Clips were being slowed down, analyzed, and my feed frame by frame. One user even counted how many times Cardi blinked before she snapped. 7. 7 blinks from calm to chaos. 10 fans flooded her social media with love, saying things like, "Protect your peace, sis," and she said what we've all wanted to say to reporters. But of course, haters were in full force too. One viral tweet read, "Cardi can't control her temper. This ain't cute no more." That's when the story took its next turn, because instead of ignoring it, Cardi doubled down. She went live on Instagram later that night, still glammed up, still heated, and ready to talk. And when Cardi goes live, you listen. She looked straight at the camera and said, "I ain't gonna let nobody play with me, especially not someone hiding behind a microphone. You want to talk crazy? Be ready when I talk back crazy." Her tone was part furious, part hilarious. All Cardi fans were eating it up like a soap opera finale. Comments poured in, period. Reporter picked the wrong day. This live gone end careers. By the time the live ended, over 400,000 people had tuned in. She didn't name names, not yet, but she hinted there was more to the story. She said they'd been coming for me for months, spreading lies, making me look messy. But I got screenshots. I got receipts. Boom, just like that. The scandal evolved from a red carpet outburst to a full-blown media feud, and trust. Once Cardi mentions receipts, the entire internet cancels their weekend plans, because this wasn't just another celebrity freakout. It was the beginning of a bigger war between a superstar who's had enough and an industry that loves to provoke her. And when Cardi promised to show proof, everyone knew this story was far from over. The claws were out, the cameras were rolling, and the receipts. They were about to burn the timeline to the ground once Cardi's Instagram Live hit the internet. Things went from messy to biblical. The live wasn't some quick vent session, it was a full-blown tell-all, complete with receipts, side-eye, and sound bites that could end careers. She started by saying, "See, y'all don't even know the half of it. That reporter been poking at me for months." And just like that, the narrative shifted from Cardi lashes out to Cardi exposes industry snakes. She wasn't lying either. Fans started digging, pulling up old articles from that same publication. Titles like Cardi B's Marriage in Trouble Again, and Offset spotted with Mystery Woman, Cardi Unbothered. The receipts were endless, and fans realized this reporter had been quietly pushing drama into the headlines for clicks. Cardi continued, "Every time I breathe wrong, y'all turn it into a scandal. I can't even sneeze without somebody saying, 'Was that a subliminal at Nicki?' Like, damn, can I have allergies in peace?" That line instantly went viral. TikTok turned it into a sound, with users faking sneezes and lip syncing. "Was that a subliminal at Nicki?" It was pure internet gold. But here's where it got spicy. Cardi wasn't just defending herself. She started naming names. She called out the publication, dragged the reporter's outlet, and said, "They ain't journalists. They're professional liars with a Wi-Fi password." The comment section exploded. Celebrities started chiming in. Lizzo dropped a laughing emoji. SZA tweeted low-key. She got a point, though. Even 50 Cent, who lives for drama, reposted the clip with the caption, "Cardi sound like me when TMZ calls?" Meanwhile, the reporter in question tried to do damage control. They posted a statement on X saying, "As a journalist, I asked a professional question." Cardi's reaction was unexpected, but I respect her passion. Respect her passion, a phrase so fake it could have been written by ChatGPT's evil twin. Fans tore it apart. One comment read, they said, "Respect her passion like she just performed Shakespeare." Not through verbal hands on the red carpet. Not through verbal hands on the red carpet. And Cardi wasn't done. She posted a follow-up tweet saying, "Don't gaslight me. You poke the bear roars. Simple." That tweet alone got 1 million likes in 2 hours. It wasn't just a clapback, it was a declaration of war. Within 24 hours, the entire internet was picking sides. Hashtag Team CARDI versus hashtag Press Pass Victim flooded every platform. Gossip YouTubers went into overdrive. One channel even made a 45-minute breakdown titled Cardi B versus the media, the war on women who clap back. And honestly, they had a point. Because Cardi's outburst wasn't just about one question. It was about years of being treated like clickbait instead of a human being. But the real explosion came when Offset himself entered the chat. In an Instagram story that lasted only 10 minutes but caused lifetime damage. He wrote, "They stay playing with my wife. Y'all gonna stop disrespecting her for attention?" Because Offset can't resist, he added. "And for the record, I don't even know that mystery woman. Y'all, weird." Boom. End of discussion. Or so we thought. Because, of course, the internet doesn't do end of discussion. Instead, they zoomed in on every frame of the red carpet video, analyzing her body language like FBI agents on Adderall. She blinked twice. That's rage. To look to the left, she's plotting revenge. Social media turned into a full-blown Cardi crisis analysis center. Every gossip page was making theories. Some said she'd been set up by the reporter's team to get a reaction. Others claimed the whole thing was orchestrated for promotion, a PR stunt for her upcoming single. And then there were the conspiracy theorists who linked it back to Nicki Minaj. Because, apparently, every female rap headline must somehow lead back to the pink print. But then, a third angle of the viral clip dropped, and it changed everything. Someone in the crowd had recorded the moment before. Cardi snapped, and it showed the reporter whispering something under their breath. You couldn't hear it clearly, but when the audio was enhanced, fans swore the reporter said, "Your husband's next collab might be with someone he's also collabing with in bed." That was it. The internet detonated. Fans screamed, "Oh nah, they deserved it." Even people who had been criticizing Cardi switched sides instantly. The clip went from Cardi lashes out for no reason to Cardi defends her marriage against disrespect. Overnight, she went from villain to victim to victorious. The reporter's credibility was shredded. Their outlet quietly deleted the red carpet coverage and turned off comments across all platforms. Meanwhile, Cardi was out here posting selfies, like I said what I said. And that's when her fan base, the Bardi gang, mobilized like the Avengers. They flooded every platform, dragging the outlet into oblivion. Memes, edits, and compilations poured in. My personal favorite: a side-by-side of Cardi yelling at the reporter next to a National Geographic clip of a lion roaring at a camera crew. Caption: Journalist tries to invade Cardi's territory. Even comedians joined in. One stand-up joked, "If you interview Cardi B, you better come with a helmet, not a mic." The story had officially transcended gossip. It was now cultural commentary. Twitter Spaces erupted with debates. Some called it a necessary stand against invasive media. Others argued celebrities should control their emotions. Here's the plot twist. Cardi wasn't backing down or apologizing. While most celebs issue sorry if anyone was offended statements, she did the opposite. She posted, "I'm not sorry. I meant every word. Stop playing with me before I start naming more names." That post broke the internet again. 3.2 million likes, screenshotted by blogs, retweeted by rappers. Nicki Minaj fans naturally jumped in trying to stir the pot, commenting she always mad at someone who isn't me. Cardi ignored them, which somehow made them angrier. Meanwhile, Megan Thee Stallion, ever the diplomat, tweeted a single popcorn emoji, pure art. And while everyone was online fighting World War Twitter, Cardi was in the studio reportedly finishing a new track. Insiders said it was inspired by the confrontation itself. The rumored title, Mic Check, that's true. She's not just turning her scandal into content, she's turning it into cash. But behind the glitter and memes, something real was happening. The industry started whispering. Other celebrities from Doja Cat to Latto began speaking out about invasive questions and the way the media provokes emotional reactions for clicks. Cardi had cracked something open. Even traditional outlets had to admit it. The unfiltered Cardi moment was the rawest display of celebrity versus media warfare in years. It wasn't polished. It wasn't staged. It was real. And in today's world, where everything feels curated and fake, that rawness, that explosion, made Cardi trend higher than anyone else. So now, instead of a scandal, it was becoming a statement. The same clip that critics said would ruin her image became the one that redefined it. But of course, in true Cardi fashion, just when the dust started settling, she added another twist, one that would flip the narrative completely. Again, because if you thought she was done talking, think again. She was just getting started. By the time the internet thought Cardi B's reporter scandal had finally cooled off, she decided to relight the fuse herself. And this time, she didn't just pour gasoline on it. She threw a whole flamethrower 2 days after the incident. Cardi dropped a 10-minute video on Instagram titled, "Here's What Really Happened." No PR filter. No background music. Just Cardi, raw and furious, in a hoodie and lashes, staring dead into the camera like she was about to read the entire industry its last rites. She started calmly, too calmly, which made everyone nervous. "I ain't gonna yell this time," she said. "I just want y'all to hear me clear." Then she took a breath, leaned forward, and delivered what might be the most iconic rant of her career. "Y'all reporters think y'all slick. Y'all throw shade behind a question, then act innocent when I react. If you come for me, come correct, because I bite back." Boom, mic drop. Within the first hour, the video had over 3 million views. By the second hour, it was trending #1 on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. The internet hadn't even had time to recover from the last meltdown. And here came Cardi, dropping a verbal atomic bomb with the precision of a PR assassin. She wasn't just defending herself anymore. She was educating the culture. "Y'all want to talk about professionalism? Don't poke at my family and expect me to stay cute. I'm a mother, not a mannequin." That line instantly went viral, reposted, remixed, turned into TikTok motivational sound bites. Influencers were quoting her like she was the next Maya Angelou of reality TV realness. Even her haters couldn't look away. One tweet said, "I can't stand Cardi, but this monologue deserves an Emmy." Another read. She turned, dragging a reporter into a TED Talk. But just when you thought she'd stop there, she added a twist that sent the internet into full-blown chaos. She played audio. Yep, Cardi pulled a Kris Jenner move and came with receipts that sounded like something straight out of a crime thriller. The clip featured what fans believed was the reporter off camera. Before the interview saying, "If I push her buttons, we'll get a reaction." That's good TV. Cue the gasps. Cue the disbelief. Cue the collective scream heard across Twitter in 1 second. Cardi B flipped the narrative from angry celebrity meltdown to media trap victim. It wasn't a tantrum, it was a setup. The internet exploded. Hashtag apologize to Cardi trended for 2 days straight. Even journalists started shading their own industry. One tweeted, "Sometimes the press forgets there are humans behind the headlines." Another said, "That clip changes everything." Meanwhile, the reporter in question went completely silent. No tweets, no posts, no statement from management. Their social accounts looked like a ghost town, just tumbleweeds and embarrassment. Cardi, however, was thriving. She posted, "Told y'all not to play with me. Next time, do your job right." That tweet alone had nearly 5 million impressions. But while fans cheered her on, the media world was shook. Some networks allegedly banned that reporter from covering future events, while others quietly retrained their red carpet staff with sensitivity guidelines. Translation: don't piss off Cardi. Cardi had done the impossible. She didn't just win the argument. She changed the entire conversation about celebrity media boundaries. And as always, the internet made it funny. Memes flooded in when the reporter asked a messy question. Cardi said, "Let me adjust your career real quick." Cardi B ending fake journalism like Thanos snapping his fingers. This makes the Will Smith slap look like a group hug. It was chaos. Comedy and commentary all rolled into one. But while Cardi was basking in the glow of her digital victory, she dropped one more twist. She announced a new single and the title. Trigger warning, the cover art. A microphone wrapped in caution tape. Fans went insane. Was it a coincidence? Of course not. This was Cardi turning controversy into commerce. The ultimate queen move. Within hours, Spotify pre-saves were climbing, and the song teaser, just 8 seconds of her rapping, "Say it to my face, don't hide behind your clickbait," was already trending on TikTok. She'd taken her anger and weaponized it into marketing genius. And here's where things get poetic. The same outlets that dragged her now had to promote her. They couldn't resist the engagement. Every headline read like an apology in disguise. Cardi B reclaims her power with new track. Trigger warning, from reporter clash to chart smash. Cardi turned scandal into statement. She'd beaten the press at their own game. Meanwhile, fans started calling her the People's PR Department. She was saying what every other celebrity was too scared to admit, that the media builds you up just to break you down. Even legends started backing her. Beyoncé's publicist liked a post defending Cardi. Rihanna's Fenty team posted a story that said, "We stand with women who protect their peace." You know you've won when even the unbothered queens of the industry are quietly co-signing your chaos. Still, not everyone was thrilled. Industry insiders whispered that Cardi's unpredictability made her dangerous. Said brands were hesitant to work with someone who could go off at any moment. But those same brands knew one thing: she moves numbers. And in the entertainment world, numbers speak louder than etiquette. By the end of the week, the story had evolved from a scandal into a legend. Cardi wasn't the aggressor anymore. She was the avenger. The woman who fought back against the fake smiles, the manipulative questions, and the double standards that trap celebrities every day. She had officially transformed from clickbait to cultural reset. And in true Cardi fashion, she wrapped it all up with one more savage tweet. "Y'all call it drama. I call it boundaries." It went down in history as one of her most iconic lines, simple, sharp, and brutally true. Because at the end of the day, that's what made this story stick. Cardi didn't just clap back, she set a new rulebook. She showed the world that defending your peace isn't unprofessional. It's necessary. From that red carpet showdown to the viral video to the hit single, Cardi turned a moment of fury into a masterclass in self-defense, emotional, professional, and digital. And just like that, the same reporter who tried to embarrass her became the reason. She dominated the culture once again. Say what you want about Cardi B, but one thing's undeniable: she doesn't wait for redemption arcs. She writes them herself. And this time, she didn't just win the argument. She owned the narrative, stole the spotlight, and proved once again. Cardi doesn't do interviews. She does headlines, and there it is. The full breakdown of the moment Cardi B went from interviewee to interviewer. From headline victim to headline owner. She didn't just snap. She strategized. She didn't just drag a reporter. She redefined what happens when the media pushes too far. So now I've got to ask, what do you think, Secret Scoop fam? Was Cardi justified in snapping, or did she go too far? Did the reporter deserve that verbal smoke, or was it one of those wrong place, wrong time moments that blew up way past control? Drop your take down below, because, trust me, this one's dividing the whole internet faster than a Nicki versus Cardi Twitter thread. Before you go, make sure you smash that like button like Cardi smashed that red carpet energy. Hit subscribe so hard it files a restraining order. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, because here on SECRT Scoop, we don't miss the drama. We autopsy it. Tomorrow's tea? Already brewing. It could be another celebrity meltdown, a fake apology tour, or maybe another exclusive that turns into World War Twitter. Whatever it is, you already know. We'll have the receipts, the sarcasm, and the chaos ready to go. This is Secret Scoop, signing off where fame gets fact-checked, drama gets dissected, and the truth always comes with a side of shade. Stay curious, stay messy, and remember, in this industry, you don't just spill tea. You become it. Become it.